A 16-year-old football player was paid 60 million euros. No need to read twice. You read it well. 60 million. But who is this wonder kid named Endrick? Endrick Felipe Moreira de Souza, or to make it easier, simply Endrick, was born on July 21, 2006 in Brasilia, the capital of Brazil. And that is where he spent his childhood. His success is even more amazing considering the fact where he grew up. Why, you ask? What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about kids from Brazil? Poverty and criminals. Unfortunately, a huge percent of Brazilian kids that are extremely talented at football don't make it, just for one simple reason: the place where they were born. We all know the story about Brazilian favelas, don't we? Endrick was able to resist all the temptations that living in Brazil brings with it. Therefore, we can clearly see that he has a strong character and a personality that one can only admire. Kudos to you, young boy. He started his football journey in 2016, playing for Palmeiras. At youth level, he showed some impressive skills, amazing stats, and a huge desire to be the best. He was simply unstoppable for players of his generation, and ended up scoring 168 goals in 170 games. Pretty impressive. Endrick's debut for the first team of Palmeiras came just after he turned 16 and signed his first professional contract. October 6, 2022 will be the day that Endrick will remember forever. The coach, Abdel Ferreira, gave him a chance in the second half. Endrick ran on the pitch in the 69th minute and entered Palmeiras history by becoming the youngest player ever to have played for the Brazilian team in one official game. There is another record that the talented youngster broke, and this one was 106 years old. Against Atlético Paranaense, Endrick scored a goal that will be written down in history, and that will be almost impossible to break. By the way, he dedicated that goal to one of the most lethal strikers of today, Erling Haaland. Endrick became the youngest ever scorer for Palmeiras, 16 years, 3 months, and 4 days. To make it even more amazing, he scored one more goal in that game, and he needed only 11 minutes for that after coming off the bench. Unbelievable! After scoring the goal, Endrick said, "I have to work harder to improve. I want people to believe in me, have faith, and believe in me. The only record I broke at that age was the longest sleep of my life." Let's stop for a second and give a standing ovation to the boy. He deserves it. Scouts from all the biggest clubs in Europe wanted to see him, and they soon got the chance at the Sao Paulo Cup in January 2022, a competition that places all the most talented Brazilian youngsters in the same place at the same time. Scouts watched all of the games with a big smile on their faces. Endrick's performance was amazing. He ended the competition scoring 6 goals in 7 matches and led Palmeiras to raising the trophy. That didn't go under the radar for sure. During a clash between Palmeiras under-20 and Oeste under-20, Endrick scored a real beauty, an overhead kick from outside the box. He managed to do something that not a lot of players can brag about. We won't say anything else, but let you enjoy this work of art one more time. Don't worry, you can replay the goal one more time. After the tournament, his phone couldn't stop ringing. He became a sensation. How could someone decide which club to join? Would it be Barcelona, Real Madrid, or some other club? And keep in mind that Endrick is just 16 years old. Wow! The more I repeat that fact, the more amazing it sounds. But actually, for a teenager, Endrick knew exactly what he wanted, and that was Real Madrid. You wonder why? Well, why do you think? Who is a role model for all the kids playing football? You can guess only once. Of course, Cristiano Ronaldo. Endrick said in one of the interviews that he aspires to follow Ronaldo's path and that the Portuguese star is a reason he chose Real over Barcelona. Alongside Ronaldo, Endrick also admires Vinicius Jr. There were rumors that Barcelona was close to signing Endrick, but the boy has made up his mind. He wants to become a Madridista. According to Transfer Market, Endrick's value has been estimated at 20 million euros. However, Real Madrid had to break the club's piggy bank and smash an astonishing sum in front of Palmeiras' officials in order to convince them to let the youngster leave the club. Who can say no to Real Madrid, right? The club released official statements on December 15, 2022, informing the public that Endrick had signed a contract with Real. His freedom cost Real Madrid around 60 million euros. How much Real believes in the youngster's talent can be seen through this information. Endrick will be able to make his official debut for Real Madrid on July 21, 2024. So Real is willing to wait for someone for a year and a half. We all know that Real Madrid waits for no one, but it is clear that they've seen something in this boy, something magical, something unique. The young left-footed striker is already being compared to some of the biggest names from the football world. Because of the country where he comes from, logically, a high number of people see Endrick as Ronaldo's successor. He's often compared with Kylian Mbappe because of the style of their game. In terms of play, they are very similar. How they constantly seek space between the opposition's defense, how fast they are in transition, and how they think. Sometimes it seems that we're looking at the same player. And also the way they're built. They're pretty much the same height and weight. The thing that characterizes Endrick's style of playing is his strength, but also his technique. Yes, his technique has to be mentioned. The Wonder Kid has all the cards in his favor. Everything is running smoothly. You must think that he's over the moon with all the recent events, and he definitely is. But did you ever consider how he might feel after being compared to Brazilian Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Mbappe? It's an honor for sure, but the pressure is somewhere there definitely lurking, waiting to catch Endrick off guard. Endrick is only 16 years old and is already carrying a huge burden. He's compared to some of the best players in history. He was paid an enormous amount of money. He will play for Real Madrid. He's simply expected to be the top dog, and there will be no room for failure. Endrick will have to learn how to handle the pressure and not get swallowed by it. How many times have you seen headlines in the news about some wonder kid, talented youngster, someone who was a huge prospect for the future? And how many of their names do you still remember? So that you can get a better impression of what we're talking about, we will remind you of one player that we're sure you won't remember in a lifetime. Bojan Krkic. He scored over 900 goals at youth level playing for Barcelona. And that is it. Being a young talent in modern football carries a huge responsibility with it. Endrick has to keep that in mind 24/7. All the football fans are excitedly waiting for Endrick to appear on the big stage and show his magic. For this youngster, the sky is the limit. It was a pleasure introducing Endrick to all of you. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.